Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Scots on the Run podcast, where we take a behind-the-scenes look at what's happening in the Gordon College cross-country and track and field programs. In this episode, we're recapping indoor championships, the final weekend of indoor season before we roll into spring break and outdoors. We broke 16 school records in total this year. Amaris Goodwin, our guest today, broke 3 of those in this weekend's meet. So We'll talk to her in just a second. But first, as always, Coach Miela, how's it going?
It's good, man. Sunday meet threw me for a loop a little bit, so I don't realize how much that I need Sunday to re-energize, because we raced Sunday, we were right back at it Monday, and I'm just glad that we have a long weekend ahead of us. So yeah.
Well, it was at the track at New Balance, which
Right.
I know is a state-of-the-art facility. So
Yep.
I guess that was why the meet was on Sunday. Was
Yeah,
just scheduling conflicts and
obviously a
everything?
facility like that, high demand, you just got to make a little sacrifice to get on a good track, because I don't know what our other options were, but I'm pretty sure all the D3 coaches wanted to host it there. So,
Well, welcome, Amaris. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
You had a nice weekend.
I did. I was very excited about it. It was
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah. So to start, I wanted to ask you, before we get into your weekend, you were our captain last year. You're currently a junior. So you've been coming to Gordon over 3.5 years at this point. You're in your 3rd season. Not only have you seen the program, go through different iterations, but I am curious. You chose to come to Gordon about 4 years ago. And I'm curious, based off of why you chose Gordon, the expectations you had coming in from a track perspective and a school perspective, how have those been met? In what ways have you, been surprised by your experience so far here at Gordon?
I mean, I definitely think coming here has exceeded my expectations. I came in, I think with just, the basic nerves that all, incoming freshmen have. What kind of friends am I going to make? What's the team going to be like? Because you only kind of see it from the outside. I was like, what are my classes going to be like? What are the professors going to be like? And then, when I got here, the team was so welcoming, and they kind of became, a second family to me, just that first year. And then all the professors are also, super, understanding and friendly and welcoming, and they really, understand it's your first year, and they kind of, help you through it if you need help. And so it's I came in very nervous, and then the nerves, I feel went away very soon. I automatically texted my mom, the first night I got here, and I was like, I'm good. I was the team
Cool.
is super welcoming, I'm good. I'm here, it'll be good. And that was very comforting for my mom and
Sure.
for me as well. And then just in general, watching the team grow over the past 3 years has been super, exciting as well, because, breaking 16 records in an indoor season where we never even used to really have an official indoor season. That's really, we had meets, but
Right.
now it's so much more, established, I feel and everyone's able to really, improve, and everyone's seeing all of the work that they're putting in and seeing how it's, helping them improve. So
Sure.
that's really cool. So
Well, actually, that's a good segue into another question I wanted to ask you is, so you came into the season, your PR in the 60 was 8:15. Honestly, I forgot what your indoor 200 PR was, because I remember your outdoor PR. But you obviously clearly made huge improvements. I think you ran 26 high last year indoors. And I know that the school record indoor, something that you've wanted for a while, it was 26:58, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, 54, something like that.
something around there.
You 2 weeks ago at BU Valentine, you crushed it. You ran 26:35, and then just this past Sunday, you improved again to run 26:11. So, and then you ran 8 flat in the 60, so you have to wait another year before you can go sub 8. Again, anyways, both of those are school records, and in a lot of ways, it felt like you were making those improvements, particularly in those 2 races, all year long. So I'm curious, what do you feel like has made the difference this season as opposed to other seasons?
I feel like it's the consistent hard effort that I put in every day at practice.
Right.
I never show up and think, well, I don't have to give my all today. I show up and I'm I'm gonna give this practice everything that I have, like whether it's on the track or in the weight room or on our new like curved treadmills.
Sure.
Like no matter like where practice is, inside, outside, it's like I'm gonna give it my best because it'll all pay off and show off in the end.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's never like I never really like I kind of always had that mindset, but I kind of feel like as you compete more and more years, it becomes like more of like a habit, I guess.
Sure.
Like, yeah, that's kind of my mindset. So I just think that it's starting to pay off as I put more and more work in.
Well, for sure. I think you're hitting the nail on the head of what we hope to see everybody on the team come to understand, right? Is that it's not just showing up every day and giving a good effort, right? It's showing up every day and intentionally giving the greatest possible effort you can. And that compounds over time in a positive way, right? So yeah, and I think as you get older, obviously you being a junior now, I think you see the difference between, again, I wasn't here your freshman year, but I can imagine as a freshman, you're just kind of showing up, just trying to, keep up, be with everybody else. And then as you get older, I think maybe you grow in that confidence and you say, no, I'm going to attack every workout. I'm not going to worry about other people, or if I'm running fast enough, I'm just going to give the best effort that I can give that day. And I think that certainly is what I think we want all of our athletes to kind of embody. So it's a great answer.
Yeah, well, first of all, I completely relate to what you were saying about coming into the team as a freshman, and just the running community, generally speaking, I think is one of the best in all of sports, but particularly here at Gordon. I felt the exact same way. So I'm glad that experience was the same for you as well. And again, congratulations on the great weekend. I know that you're running the fastest times of your life, and that's got to be a great feeling. Obviously, we just wrapped up indoor season, so as you look ahead to outdoor, obviously we've got spring break coming up, so we've got a little bit of time off. But what are some of your goals for outdoor season as we transition over to that?
I'm very excited for the outdoor season, especially since the times I just ran at New England's are basically just as fast as I was at the end of the outdoor season. So it's like I'm at a very good spot right now, very early on. So I'm excited to just keep attacking the training. And I definitely want to break 26 in the 200 and outdoor. I think
Wind legal.
Wind legally.
Yeah.
Technically I did once, but wind helped me out a little bit.
Sure.
So I'm excited to do it wind legally this season, which I totally can. But it's just a matter of having it all to come together. But so that's one of my big goals for the outdoor season. I'm just excited to keep attacking it and having this month to kind of just like really fine tune the training before we start to compete like every weekend.
Week. Yeah.
But once it starts, it goes fast.
Well, before we transition to anybody else, you also anchored the 4x2 and broke the school record, which is a 14-year-old school record in the 4x2 on Sunday. And then even how that relates to outdoor. Tell us a little bit about the 4x2, but also, what does that say about the women's team or even the relays you could be on as you move into the outdoor season?
I love relays.
Yeah.
I'm very excited that we have a very strong team this year. And just in general, I feel like running on a relay kind of forces you to push yourself harder than you think you can individually in a way, because you are competing not just for yourself, but for your whole entire team. And that's something that me and the 4x2 team this past weekend were talking about. We were like, we're just going to get out there, do it, give it our all, do it for ourselves, do it for each other. And it was just really, really exciting to look up and see that time. And we all screamed, ran over, hugged each other. We were like, oh my gosh, we did it. Because 14 years is a very long time.
Right.
So we were very, very excited. And Allie, who really helped show me what it is to be a good captain, was on that relay team as well. So it was just really, really exciting to break a record with her and just see how and then the whole rest of the team was really super excited too after that, all giving us hugs and high fives and everything. So it's just really exciting to accomplish something like that, but then to have such a huge support system, everyone's so genuinely excited for you.
Yeah.
It was just really, really cool.
Definitely. Well, yeah, and then like you said, I think it's funny how relays, they bring out another gear that you didn't know you had. And I think sometimes maybe it's just because you get out of your head a little bit, you start just saying well, I just got to go compete because I got 3 other people relying on me. And sometimes we forget about that, or we don't have that same mindset when it's just us on the track, right? So I know I'm pretty excited about that group before. I mean, I'm excited for our women's team as well, and what the 4x2 means. Obviously, being the 4x200, we probably have some potential both in the 4x4 and in the 4x1 moving forward, right?
Some people will be a little less happy with
We'll
that.
see. Yeah, we'll see. But obviously, I think for our women's team, we've got a lot of people returning going into next year, but obviously we're still finishing up this outdoor season. I think we're getting to the point where we're starting to really build momentum around the program, and it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, well, and on the men's side, Jacob Smith had a great day, was the headliner
Yep.
over there, part of 2 relay teams that also set school records.
Definitely. I mean, the men's DMR, and we try to be, because there's no qualifier for relays at New England Championships, so we try to be selective with why we're running a relay. We certainly don't want to just throw a group out there just for the sake of doing that, but we knew they would have a shot. We had a couple guys, Stephen Kalen's hurt, and then Jesse Commandas was focusing on the mile, so we didn't even have our best 4, but we still felt like we could break that school record. And one of the reasons why that was possible was because Jacob Smith, a guy he's ran 201 a bunch this year in the 800. He went out and probably ran the best 800 he's ran since I've been here in the last year and a half, with a split 156.9. Again, that was huge. I remember there was another coach as he was running yelling over me, "That's a great leg, coach!" And so it was exciting to see stuff like that when you're trying to break a school record and you see that going on right in the middle of your, like real time. It's exciting because you start to see, okay, it's going to happen, right? But again, like I said, I think the other guys on that relay, they all did their jobs, and then he kind of was the shining star on the DMR. And then in the men's 4x4, they had broken the school record earlier this year, but it was almost like on accident. We didn't really plan it. Nobody was really fresh. And we decided, hey, let's try to give a really good effort here with a couple guys. Pretty much everybody was decently fresh because they had a long break in between their first competition or their first race and their second race, and then obviously being on a bank track and being in an environment like that. So yeah, they improved their school record, I think, by about 5 seconds or something like that. And
I was just going to say,
go ahead.
the page hasn't been updated. It was 3:33.45,
Right.
and this weekend they ran a 3:28.56,
Right.
so
Right.
almost 5 full seconds there, like you were saying.
And exactly. And I think we knew that team was capable of it if you put them in the right scenario. And again, Jake went out. I think he led us off. So when he ran 51 low. And for him, again, to run that at this point in the season, and it's important that he's the leadoff when you're factoring in those splits, because he doesn't have a running start like the other 3 guys. So it really was close to a true 51 low. So that's exciting to see from a guy who, again, we don't really train to peak necessarily for that weekend. We just, we put a lot of focus on our outdoor season. And so the fact that our whole team, including Jake, everybody performed well is it's a really good sign moving forward.
Yeah, and that 156.9 that you were talking about, that would have broken the school record in the 800 if
Right,
it was an
had it
open
been
day.
an open, yeah.
I mean, he's among the fastest in Gordon history
Definitely.
when it comes to that distance, for sure.
For sure. I think the last thing I probably want to make sure we say before we get off is, like we talked about, we broke 16 school records this indoor season. It was our first kind of real indoor season. We've ran indoor races in the past, but this is the first time Gordon's sponsored it. And obviously Amaris was a big part of that, breaking, she was in the 60, the 200, the 4x2, and the mixed gender 4x4, which was fun, if you remember that. I know that that was a day that she wasn't as happy about, but we still broke the school record that day. Standouts this year, like Lizzie as a freshman, Lizzie Gaskill came and actually broke our previous school record. It's just Amaris broke it before she got a chance to get on the track. So Tiana broke her own school record in the shot put. Rachel Brennan is top 40 in the nation in the 5K. And 2 other standouts, Jessie Commanda and Olivia Garrity. They're actually both in their respective events. Olivia in the weight throw, Jessie in the mile. When you rank them amongst freshmen in Division III, they're ranked 11th in the nation. And so obviously we're excited about the future for those two. And again, just the momentum that's grown around the program. This indoor season really kind of showed what our program is capable of and kind of the direction that we're headed in. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, well, I think that speaks to the strength of the team as well, because I
Right.
think Chewy and Henry had a similar situation where,
Right.
like, Chewy went out and broke the old record, and then
Yeah,
Henry
yeah.
ran an even faster time, so
That's
he couldn't
right.
even say what he held the record, but he still broke the old record, so
Right,
that
exactly.
shows how many strong athletes we have on the team this year.
Yeah, and a lot of them returning next year. So, and we feel good about our recruiting class as well. So we're really optimistic about what the future holds for Gordon track and field and cross country too. So stay tuned.
Yeah, so we'll have about a month off here to
Mm-hmm.
rest and continue training, and then we roll right in outdoor, I guess, on March 23rd.
March 23rd, we will be down in Rhode Island, Portsmouth High School, I believe it is. That's where Roger Williams will be hosting an invitational. They're also hosting our conference meet, so important for us to start off on the right foot because we're going to be running on the track that will ultimately be where our conference championship is.
Yeah, it's a nice facility. When I was on the team,
Oh,
we
yeah?
ran conference there a couple of times. So,
I haven't even been there yet, then,
Yeah.
so you have to tell me all about it.
sounds good.
Cool, man.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and we will see you on the next episode. Have a good one.